So, you're scrolling through your wish list, counting down the days until that next big game drops. You tell yourself you just need something simple to hold you over, just to pass the time. But what if that little time waster turns out to be your next obsession? Consider this a warning. These 7 games are so addictive, so endlessly replayable, you might just forget what you were even waiting for in the first place. First up, a game with a dangerously simple mantra: the factory must grow. I'm talking about Factorio. On the surface, it's a top-down management game where you've crash-landed on an alien planet and need to build a rocket to escape. But that's just the first gear in a machine that will consume your every waking thought. The hook is the perfect spiraling escalation of complexity. You start by mining some iron ore by hand. Then you build 1 drill and 1 furnace. Next, you need a dozen. Soon, you're laying down entire rail networks, managing fluid dynamics for oil processing, and designing circuit networks to run it all. The game's massive Space Age expansion, which launched in late 2024, bolted on a whole new endgame, adding 4 new planets to exploit, each with its own unique mechanics and challenges, like the molten world of Vulcanus or the frigid ocean planet of Aquilo. The factory doesn't just grow, it spans a solar system. What makes it so hard to put down is the constant, delicious loop of problem solving. Every solution you create, whether it's a new production line or a defensive wall against the planet's hostile natives, inevitably creates a new bottleneck somewhere else. The game presents you with a never-ending chain of challenges and the satisfaction of overcoming them. Your brain is so busy optimizing ore smelting layouts and maximizing throughput that your wish list starts to feel like a problem for a future version of you to deal with. This isn't just a game, it's an engineer's paradise. Next, let's talk about a game that blew up the industry with its special brand of cooperative chaos, Helldivers 2. If Factorio is a slow burn, Helldivers 2 is a straight-up explosion. You're an elite soldier fighting for managed democracy across the galaxy, and your job is to drop onto alien planets and deliver a hot cup of liberty, usually from the barrel of a very big gun. The idea is simple. Squad up, pick a mission, and try not to die. But the magic is in the absolute mayhem. Friendly fire is always on. Your most powerful weapons, orbital strikes, and support drops called stratagems will kill you just as easily as they kill the enemy. Every mission feels like a desperate scramble against impossible odds. It's a game that has had its share of growing pains since its wild launch, but here in late 2025, it's in the best shape it's ever been. The developers have kept the fight interesting by adding new mission types and enemy variants, all while working on performance. The addiction is fueled by pure, unfiltered fun and a brilliant community-driven story. Every mission you complete contributes to the galactic war where the entire player base is fighting together to liberate planets. You feel like a small but important cog in a huge war machine. The core gameplay is just so good. Calling in an orbital laser to decimate a bug nest while your friend accidentally crushes you with a supply pod is a memory you won't forget. Plus, missions are a tight 30 to 40 minutes, making it dangerously easy to say, "Alright, just one more drop." The real wishlist killer here is the evolving story. The war is always changing, with new threats and major orders from high command that keep everyone on their toes. It's not just a game you play, it's a war you follow. You'll find yourself checking the galactic map on your phone, planning strategies with your squad, and diving back in to do your part. 3. Hades. There are roguelikes, and then there's Hades. This game is a masterpiece, and it will sink its hooks into you and refuse to let go. You play as Zagreus, the snarky son of Hades, and your only goal is to fight your way out of the underworld. Sounds simple, right? The catch is that every time you die, you're sent right back to the start. But here's where Hades is different. Dying and retrying is the whole point. Every death isn't a punishment, it's how you move forward. When you get sent back to the House of Hades, you can chat with a whole cast of amazing characters from Greek mythology, build relationships, and uncover more of the incredible story. The plot literally can't progress unless you fail. The gameplay loop is one of the best ever made. The combat is fast, fluid, and just feels amazing. On each escape attempt, the gods of Olympus grant you boons, powerful abilities that totally change how you play. No two runs ever feel the same. One run, you're zapping enemies with chain lightning. The next, you're a poison-wielding assassin. The variety is insane, with 6 different weapons that each have 4 unique forms to unlock. So why will this make you forget your wish list? Because Hades respects your time while demanding all of it. A single run might take 20 to 40 minutes, but the promise of new story moments, a new weapon combo, or that one perfect boon you've been chasing will have you diving right back in. It's a game where you can sink hundreds, if not thousands of hours and still feel like you're finding new things. It turns the frustration of failure into the very thing that drives you forward, creating a loop so good your wish list will start gathering dust. 4. Vampire Survivors. Don't let the old-school graphics fool you. Vampire Survivors is one of the most addictive games ever made, and it costs less than a cup of coffee. This game basically created its own genre, the bullet heaven, and it's a pure shot of video game dopamine. The concept is almost laughably simple. You move, and the game does the rest. You don't even have an attack button. Your character automatically fires off weapons while you focus on just one thing, moving and surviving. You just walk through these huge open fields as literally thousands of monsters swarm you from every direction. Killing them drops XP gems, and each time you level up, you get a new weapon or an upgrade. The addiction here is all about the power fantasy. You start out weak, barely dodging a few bats. 5 minutes later, you're a walking whirlwind of destruction, with garlic fields, holy Bibles, and magic wands flying everywhere, obliterating everything on screen. The creator actually used to program slot machines, and you can feel that DNA in the game's design. It's built to feel incredibly rewarding. This game will make you forget your wish list because it's the ultimate zone-out game. It's easy to learn, perfect for short sessions, and the feeling of going from helpless victim to an untouchable god of death in a 30-minute run is just unmatched. It's a time-devouring monster in the absolute best way, and once it gets its hooks in you, you'll be chasing that power trip for hours. 5. Skin Deep. Now for a real hidden gem that is just dripping with style. Skin Deep. This game comes from Blendo Games, the geniuses behind cult hits like Quadrilateral Cowboy, and it's a first-person shooter with a wonderfully weird premise. You're an insurance commando, cryogenically frozen on a spaceship. When space pirates show up, you get thawed out to handle the situation. The catch is, you're barefoot, you're outnumbered, and the ship is full of cats you have to rescue. The whole game is built on improvisation. It's a true immersive sim. Sure, you can go in guns blazing, but you can also use your surroundings in hilarious ways. There are even mechanics where sneezing from dust can give away your position, or getting covered in trash can leave a smelly trail for enemies to follow. It's quirky, it's funny, and it begs you to get creative. The game was released in April 2025 and gives you a solid 10 to 12-hour campaign with tons of reasons to play it again. What makes it so addictive is that every level is a chaotic sandbox. Each starship is a non-linear playground. Are you going to vent the pirates into the cold void of space? Sneeze on them to spread your germs? Or just sneak through the vents and subvert their systems from the shadows? The game hands you a box of bizarre toys and just lets you go wild. Skin Deep is a wish list killer because it's just so original. In an industry full of safe sequels, it's a breath of fresh, if sometimes stinky air. It's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, but has surprisingly deep systems. You'll keep coming back just to see what other weird and wonderful ways you can solve a problem, and its unique charm is something you won't find in any blockbuster. For our next game, we're climbing the Spire. Slay the Spire is the game that basically perfected the deck builder roguelike, and it's still the king. It's a game of pure strategy, calculated risks, and agonizing decisions that you can play forever. The goal is simple. Pick one of the 4 characters and fight your way to the top of a mysterious spire. It's a turn-based card game, but as you go, you add new cards to your deck, creating powerful combos. You also find relics that give you permanent bonuses, which can completely change your strategy for a run. The game is tough, but it rarely feels unfair. When you lose, you know exactly what you did wrong, and that knowledge makes you want to immediately start another run. It's so perfectly balanced with a nearly endless number of card combinations to discover. It's the kind of game you can sink hundreds, if not thousands of hours into and still feel like you're learning new things. It turns the frustration of failure into the very thing that drives you forward, creating a loop so good your wish list will start gathering dust. 7. Baldur's Gate 3. Finally, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. A game so massive, so deep, and so all-consuming that it didn't just make people forget their wish lists, it became their entire personality. I'm talking, of course, about Baldur's Gate 3. This isn't just a game, it's an event. It's a classic Dungeons & Dragons setup. You've been captured, a mind flayer parasite has been stuck in your brain, and you need to find a cure before you turn into a tentacle monster. What comes next is one of the most reactive, choice-driven stories ever told in a video game.
The addiction comes from total freedom and real consequences. A casual playthrough can run you 75 to 100 hours, but if you're trying to see everything, you could easily spend over 200 hours. Every single quest has multiple solutions. Every conversation can branch off in wild directions. The character you build, the choices you make, and even the random rolls of the dice will fundamentally change your adventure. It is virtually impossible to see everything this game has to offer in one go. This game isn't just a wish list killer, it's a hobby killer. The replayability is off the charts. Playing as a different class or race opens up totally new conversations and abilities. Making a different choice in the first hour can lead to you meeting entirely different characters in the final act. Baldur's Gate 3 is a world that begs you to explore it over and over, with each playthrough feeling like a brand new, genuine adventure. You might buy it just to tide you over, only to realize that it is the main event, and nothing else on the horizon seems quite as interesting anymore.